to get started on your love reading for the month of December. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Let's begin by choosing a tarot deck. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What tarot deck should I get for you guys? The new Palladini Tarot. That's what I'm going to be using for you today. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Leo. Let's see what we have for you this time around. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Leo. This is your love reading for the month of December. Leo Collective. Let's see what we have for you this time around. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Holy Spirit, what do we have for Leo this time around? Leo Collective, Cross Watcher as well. What do we have for you? What's going on in love? What insight, clarity, information, revelation, foresight do we have for my dear Leo? We have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Seven of Cups. And we have the Emperor, and here at the bottom we have the High Priestess. There is someone here that is desiring guidance. They are wanting to do something, take action, but they don't exactly have like a solid plan necessarily, but they do. They do, but they think that they don't. So this is like the type of individual I'm getting that is like is second guessing themselves with this Seven of Cups. And I would say that the Knight of Wands doesn't, the Knight of Rods, they don't have that second guessing personality. They don't. They kind of just do. That's the thing about the Knights. They shoot first and then they ask questions later. So this one's not doing that. Although I feel like that's what they should be doing. So here we have someone that is second guessing themselves, but that really shouldn't. And I feel like when they start second guessing themselves, like, should I do this? Should I do that? This, and that. That's where it gets like really confusing for them. But one of these plans, okay, works. Another thing that I'm getting is that this situation doesn't really necessarily need a plan, okay, because there's a certain level of uncertainty here that comes with this particular situation, scenario, or experience, okay? The Emperor, there could be an Aries for many of you. What is this Emperor doing here, Holy Spirit? What is this Emperor doing here? We have the Eight of Pentacles, and here we have the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And here we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have a gentleman that is working on something. They're looking at this pentacle and they're trying to perfect it. This is a perfectionist. Whoa. Okay. That's the devil. Okay, so here we have a perfectionist, guys. The Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles. Do you see how that gentleman here in the Eight of Pentacles, they're looking at this pentacle, and the pentacle looks just fine. It looks like these over here, right? Like it's good to go, but they're still looking at it. That's the way that I'm seeing it. They're still looking at it and they're trying to figure out how they can make it better. And with the Emperor energy being here, it just kind of magnifies that energy there of perfectionism to a fault, really, especially so with this devil. Tell me more about this devil. We have the Ten of Swords. Oh goodness, this is a person that it's like they wear themselves out. This is also the type of individual, guys, that is like consuming themselves in work to distract themselves, which is definitely, with the devil being here, a negative behavior pattern that they have, going on. This is also a person that has been like, this is a person that is like, they're exhausted. They've been exhausting themselves. They're exhausting themselves mentally. They're exhausted mentally. And honestly, this is an individual that has very negative thoughts about what they're doing, about their capabilities, about their place in the world, about what it is that they have to offer, how it is that they look, how it is that they're coming off. And it's because I feel like they're like incredibly hard on themselves. But here at the bottom of the deck, we have a very compassionate person who has their eyes closed. So it's interesting, right? If think about it like this symbolically, here we have this emperor here that is working very hard on that pentacle there, and they just want to get it really smooth and perfect, and it looks perfect to me now, but they're still, it's like it's not good enough, and they're trying to produce something, because it's a pentacle, right? It's earth energy. You could see it, feel it, touch it, all that, right? But look, this one has her eyes closed. This one's not going to see anything, I'm hearing. So this one's not interested in material things. That it's important, but it's not everything. So this is something that this one is not going to necessarily, I don't want to say be paying attention to, but it's not something that they're looking for. They have their eyes closed. So here, I'm seeing a gentleman that is trying to find validation. They're trying to prove, to someone, but really to themselves, that they're good enough. And I feel like they're just super exhausted. And this is incredibly hurtful. This is incredibly hurtful to themselves. Here we have this Nine of Wands, which is a person that is hesitating. I'm seeing it like as the masculine energy. They're hesitating. If you could think about it like this person is pacing back and forth, walking this way, walking that way, walking this way, walking that way. And I feel like this individual is, I'm hearing perfect, exactly the way that they are right now. But there's this feeling that I'm getting of not being, not feeling not good enough, maybe very subconsciously. And they're holding themselves, maybe holding themselves back. But yeah, there's this hesitation here, going back and forth. Like if there's something, like, what am I missing? What am I missing? This person is they're giving this so much thought. And this person, if they're not exhausted now, they will be very soon. And this can make them like very moody, very grouchy, very irritable, fastidious even. And it's because it's something that is like draining their energy. It's draining them so much. And look, here we have the Queen of Pentacles, and there's a pentacle in that queen's head. So for many of you, I feel like this is what the masculine is thinking, the masculine energy. They're very self-conscious, about what it is that they're able to give and provide. They're very like, they're self-conscious, and they're thinking that that's what's in the feminine's mind, that pentacle there. But it's not. You see how it's like it's all dark? So I'm seeing that actually as like a negative projection. This is the feminine energy. They're interested in love. They're interested in love. And I feel like there's a masculine figure here that is thinking, so like what it like, they're trying to figure out the feminine energy, we could say, perhaps. Or they think that they have figured them out, but I don't think that they have, because the Seven of Cups is here, which says that, this individual, it's like they have a pretty like unrealistic perception of the situation. And it's almost as if they're focusing on everything else but one thing here. And I do feel like that is this cup of love. Not to say that there is no love here, but I do see a person being stuck in like a negative projection, an illusion, a false construct that is a result of their inner demons, we could say. Interesting. Let's continue. Tell me more. Okay. We have the Chariot, and then we have the Five of Wands. This person is being confronted with obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. This masculine energy is feeling they're feeling opposed. They have felt very opposed. They've been met with a lot of challenges along this journey that they've been on. I'm getting that for many of you. They could have, like, have for a while experienced a lot of limitations and restrictions as it pertains to their career, their work life, their money even. And that is because of this devil here, which is kind of like, it's a couple of things. It's like, for some of you, I'm getting, it's like creating your own like nightmare. And for others of you, this is like, we could say this is happening because there's a lesson here, a pattern, a negative perception that they have to break free from, which is meant to direct their focus and their attention to something else. I do feel like all of this is teaching this individual, okay, self-worth and self-love. But it's almost as if the more challenges it is that they encounter, the more focused they become on this. We have the Six of Wands, and we have the King of Rods. I do see this individual, this masculine energy, this person here. For many of you, this could be the Leo male. I do see them overcoming all of this. Yeah, we have the Six of Wands here. Yeah, I see them overcoming this. I mean, they definitely do have the motivation and the spirit here with the Emperor to tackle and overcome and triumph over any limitations, restrictions, obstacles, okay, that, this devil here is posing. But it's definitely exhausting them, okay? So I'm getting that is of significance. It's incredibly exhausting. And I feel like, another thing that I'm getting is that all of this is happening to bring up bring up and highlight these these negative emotions within this emperor, like the failures, okay, the obstacles, the delays, the having to keep working and working. It's highlighting this individual's lack of self-love and self-esteem, in the way of like reminding them. It's like for a while I feel like they've thought like I'm not good enough, very subconsciously for many of them, like I'm not good enough, and it's like they feel it, okay, the 10 of swords. And it's been, this journey here for many of you has been incredibly exhausting for this individual. So it's kind of like fighting a battle. Yeah, they've been fighting a battle, we could say, like all by themselves without you knowing, or not necessarily without you knowing, but it's like, yeah, they're fighting their own little battle while still trying to, perhaps for many of you, trying to find love, or build some sort of relationship. But I definitely feel like this has definitely, without a doubt, affected their love life in a very negative way. But we have a feminine energy, guys, here with this Queen of Cups, or it's this Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. They're incredibly patient. There's a strong sense of knowing here as well, of being very understanding and just looking within for answers, and knowing that there's something more here going on. I'm also getting that for many of you, that this Queen of Cups knows, okay, all of this, and they've just really had to be, you know, very patient. There's a big lesson here of self-love as well going on with this Queen of Cups. Self-worth that they've really had to cultivate and take in alone, like in solitude, is just what I'm getting from this Queen of Cups. Tell me more about this Queen of Cups, Holy Spirit. We have the Ace of Wands. Let me put all of this up. We have the Ace of Wands. What is this? Tell me more about this Ace of Wands, Holy Spirit. Tell me more about this Ace of Wands. And we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so here with this Ace of Rods and this Knight of Swords, there is like a strong urge here to like move. It's almost like a, this is like flinching. Like these energies here, it's like flinching. This Ace of Wands, and then right now I'm getting a visual, you know, when you go to the doctor and then they go like that to your like your elbow or your knee, and then your foot just like goes, it just like your foot kicks. So I feel like, you see how this Queen of Cups is sleeping, or if not sleep, they're not sleeping, they have their eyes closed. So they've been in a journey, we could say. Look, if we integrate this Queen of Pentacles in there, they've been on a, like in an internal journey, and they've been, we could say, like in a meditative state for a while, and they are about to like snap out of it. This has worked, okay? Everything happens for a reason. Like, I truly believe that the universe, God, the Holy Spirit is always conspiring with us to produce the best outcome for you and everyone, okay? And Spirit is always there. You know, we could say making something good out of something bad. So, you know, like all that we saw there going on with that, with the masculine energy. While all of that has been happening, there's a feminine energy that has been in a meditative state. meaning that I don't want to say that it necessarily is allowing the masculine energy to kind of work through that, but it just helps it, right? If you think about it, like here we have a feminine energy that's been in a meditative state, meaning they've been trying to like figure out a lot of things. They've been on a journey within as well, very reflective, doing a lot of inner healing, for example, which needs time for themselves as well as their attention, right? And then on this side, we have a gentleman that's like working through their own, issues or whatever. And pretty much what that equals to is two individuals that are at for however long we're working on, two individuals whose attention needed to be somewhere else apart from themselves, which works, right? I hope that you're understanding what I'm saying. It just works. But I wouldn't even want to say but. We have a feminine energy that's about to snap out of it. So what does that mean? Which is good, because we see a masculine energy that is about to triumph over their circumstances. So you see, it's almost like divine timing. It's not like it is. It's divine timing. Now, I'm getting that for many of you, this was something that you wanted to take off before. For those of you that I'm connecting with, this was one of the lessons here was to learn patience, and to learn patience, and as well as to understand and grasp. I'm hearing the miracle of divine timing. Here we have the page of rods, the page of wands, and is reversed. I'm getting that for many of you. There was a particular path or road that was blocked. For many of you, this certainly could have been, this connection. But it wasn't necessarily blocked, but it's like it was not allowed to move forward with the page of wands reversed. You weren't allowed to explore in the way that you would have wanted. You weren't allowed to explore freely, perhaps one another, the relationship, because there was always other things that were getting in the way. Now, for many of you, these things were all an illusion, okay? Hello, welcome to the Matrix. And the moon, yeah, for many of you, the limitations and the restrictions that the both of you, encountered were very much self-created. Yeah, absolutely. And well, that was another purpose of this entire experience, to make you aware of the limitations you were placing on yourself, as well as to illuminate you about the false constructs of reality that you were entertaining with the Eight of Swords and the Moon card. I feel like for many of you, you're understanding, you're seeing where a lot of the blogs and the restrictions were coming from. And for many of you, you're really going to realize they were all an illusion. They were all made up, and they had to do a lot with your own internal state, your own false beliefs about who you were, what's wrong with you, what's not wrong with you, what it is that you need, what it is that you're lacking, all of those things, okay? Eight of Swords and then the Moon card. There's about to be movement here. I'm telling you, there's someone that is like snapping out of it. This is someone snapping out of it. Like, oh, I can move all of a sudden. Yeah, hello, you could move all along. But it was like frozen in time. It felt like for many of you, frozen in time. But let me tell you, it was not. Look, frozen in time. Here we have this Four of Swords. For many of you, here we have sleepy handsome with the Four of Swords. So instead of sleeping beauty, it's sleeping handsome. It's a masculine energy here that's sleeping, that needs to be woken up, which goes like with the reading, doesn't it? Because I'm seeing the feminine energy. Look, it's the feminine energy that is like waking up. They've been on an internal journey. You see that? exploring their shadow self, their internal self. And I was also telling you guys, I didn't finish saying that this was not in vain. This pause, we could say, in the Matrix, it was not like right now I'm seeing someone like, you know, in slow motion go back. For many of you, it felt like that for a while. It was not in vain. I mean, goodness gracious, this individual here is this Queen of Cups. They have explored parts of themselves that they didn't even know were there. So I'm getting like a couple of things. I see the masculine energy like working a lot on their in the material world. And I see the feminine like working a lot with their internal body. So here with this Ace of Rods and Knight of Swords, yeah, there's somebody snapping out of it. Snapping out of an illusion, an unconscious state, we could say. And well, they're like getting ready. They're ready to like move. They're ready to move. If you could think about it, you've been sitting there for a long time, sitting, and all of a sudden, you know, you're stuck glued to a chair, and you want to move, but you can't, and you're just there. Once you get unstuck, what's your first reaction? Like, ooh, you jump up, right? And you're ready to go. That's the energy that feminine energy is giving me. But guess what? We have Sleepy Handsome over here. Tell me about him. There's a lot of healing that they're doing. I'm telling you guys, it's because this person has exhausted themselves tremendously. Because it's like this person has been working on their environment. They've been like, we could think about it like this, gaining possessions to make them feel better about themselves. For many of you, it's like increasing their pay, for example, like, okay, I'm going to go get this degree. If it's not that, I'm just going to be stacking up my money. I'm going to get this car, or I'm going to get this house, you know, and they've been using that, getting those things to build themselves up, which is all an illusion. It was all an illusion. It was a false sense of security that they were building. So you see why this Queen of Cups went within. They went within. And now they're getting out of that. And I'm getting is ready to transform their environment based on the real and true reality that they now know. Now, it's kind of reversed for the masculine energy. You see, it's like you saw that they were working on that pentacle. They've been working on that. And you see how they're incredibly exhausted? That was incredibly exhausted because they were met with opposition after opposition. It's just a lot. They're mentally exhausted. That's why they're in the Four of Swords. And this is when they're going to this. But not for too long. Tell me about this Four of Swords. Tell me more about this Four of Swords, Holy Spirit. We have the Strength card and we have the Temperance. Yeah, the masculine energy is healing. For many of you, that is, I wouldn't say accepting defeat, okay? But no, this is not accepting defeat. But there is something that the masculine energy is going to be realizing. They're spiritually, mentally drained, guys. And then right now I heard which they had to get to get them to reflect with the Four of Swords. And then here we have the Three of Swords reversed. I feel like this masculine energy is finally confronting their pain. They've been working, everybody works through their issues, you know, or their pain in different ways. The masculine energy has been working through a lot of their pain and, you know, in a very real type of setting. They're healing with the Strength card and then the Temperance. And look, here we have the Two of Cups. This is a surrender as well. You see, this is surrendering to love. I'm hearing surrendering to love as you are. Two people just surrendering to one another as they are. Like, this is who I am. Like, I surrender. This is beautiful, guys. That's what I see here. Strength card and the Temperance. I see two people healing, recovering from any sort of heartache, pain, trauma, and surrendering to love after like really like fighting it. But what they were fighting is what they were fighting was not necessarily one another, but it's like they're finally accepting these two here. They're surrendering, and they're accepting the fact that they are worthy of love. That whatever it is that they're good enough, pretty much. They're good enough. That's what we have here. Two people healing, recovering, building, you know, their self-esteem, their self-identity with the Strength card, and with the Temperance. I hear like really, I'm getting like really elevating themselves to a higher vibration and releasing a lot of negative thoughts and patterns and beliefs that they had about one another, about themselves, really about themselves, because I feel like a lot of negative projections. Wow, beautiful, guys. Look at that here. You see that caduceus symbol there? That is healing. Beautiful energy. Wonderful. Let's get an oracle deck, my dear Leo. For those of you that want to book a reading with me, you could do so by going to Votre or you could book a private reading with me, guys. That link is down below. All right, let's see. Leo, this is the self-love oracle that I'm using. Leo, what closing message do we have for Leo? Perfect timing, 32 minutes. All right. Sometimes I get out of hand. I lose track of time, and before I know it, I've been, you know, the reading is like 50 minutes, 40 minutes in length, which takes a lot from me. We have practice patience. Hello. Doesn't that go with the reading? It says conditions outside us sometimes determine the best time to move forward. Divine timing. Wait and work on something else until these conditions change. Conditions outside us sometimes determine the best time to move forward. So you see, yeah, there's a lot of environmental factors that are contributing to certain delays, guys. I feel like divine timing is definitely at play. We do see, you know, I saw that here in this reading. Wait and work on something else until these conditions change. Now, this could definitely be talking about like towards the end of the reading where we saw the feminine energy like snapping out, you know, of the matrix, we could say, but the masculine energy was in sleeping handsome mode, right? So there is patience that is needed, and also knowing that divine timing is at play here, and honoring, okay, divine timing. Having to honor divine timing, guys. Conditions outside us sometimes determine the best time to move forward. Wait and work on something else until these conditions change. This is what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. As always, truly, it was an honor and my pleasure. You guys take care, okay? Bye-bye.